Welcome back, everyone. And if this is your first time here, you're going to find a lot of videos related to mortgages, home financing, saving money at home, anything related to real estate, buying and selling. So if that interests you and you own a home or you might own a home, then you might find a lot of videos here that will appeal to you. So what this particular video is about is how to qualify for a mortgage or how to get a mortgage after a foreclosure. And a foreclosure is a little bit more difficult than a bankruptcy, and really what it comes down to is the waiting period. So first thing is if you filed, or you not filed for bankruptcy, but if you had a foreclosure, and you're going to have a waiting period for, regardless as to whether it's a conventional loan or an FHA loan, etc. So for a conventional loan, you're going to have to wait up to 7 years before Fannie Mae can approve, or before a lender will approve under Fannie Mae guidelines, your mortgage. Okay, so it's a long waiting period. You're going to be in the penalty box for a while, but you do have other options. So for example, if you're interested in an FHA loan, you're looking at a 3-year waiting period for an FHA, and also 3-year waiting period for USDA. If you're not familiar with USDA loans are for properties that are in a what's considered to be a rural area per USDA guidelines, and those loans actually have a 0% down payment requirement, and I'll do a video on that type of loan soon so you can learn more about that. VA loans, 2 years, so 2-year waiting period on VA loans. And at the end of this video, I've got another option for you with no waiting period. I'll get to that in a moment. Now, you can cut the wait time down on all of these loans if you have extenuating circumstances. So for example, if you were hospitalized, and because you were hospitalized you couldn't work and you couldn't make the payments, that would be a legitimate reason for the lender to waive the full waiting period. Not all of it, but some of it. You can cut the years off of there if you've got a legitimate extenuating circumstance. Another one is if you were serving in the military, and as a result you had a hardship and you couldn't pay your bills, and you ended up with a foreclosure. So there's another valid one. There are other medical related issues that could arise. Maybe you may have an issue taking care of a spouse. You have to quit your job because you have to take care of a spouse or a parent who's got a serious illness, and you became the primary caregiver and had to take care of them. Those are just a couple of examples, right? And there are others that if you have the situation, you can check with your lender to see whether you're eligible for a reduction in the waiting period. All right. Now, if you do have an extenuating circumstance, then what would help is if you have a couple of compensating factors that are in your favor. So I did a video on compensating factors, so you can learn more about that, but what an example would be is if you had high income and a low DTI in the proposed loan. You have longevity in your job. You have somehow or another you've been able to get your credit together since your foreclosure, and you've got high credit scores. These are just a couple of examples, right, of compensating factors where a lender would say, yeah, I understand you want to cut the waiting period down, and you've got this situation. Now, why should I feel comfortable about approving your mortgage? Oh, you've got these things going on in your favor. Okay, I can see that. So that's an example. Now, I said that I was going to get back to you on some other options. Really, the other option is going to be non-QM loans, non-qualified mortgages, ones that do not qualify for Fannie Mae approval or Freddie Mac. And you have special lenders that will offer these special programs whereby you can be 1 day out of foreclosure and you can still qualify for a mortgage. However, There are going to be credit score minimums. Now, every lender's different. I can tell you that as of a few months ago, this could have been done with a credit score as low as 500, but today things have tightened up a bit. I'm not sure when you're going to be watching this video. It could be a couple of years down the road. But if you're wondering what is needed to qualify for a mortgage after a foreclosure, I'm going to leave a link in the description below and also in the pinned comment where you can read up more about it. So you potentially could qualify with a very low credit score even one day out of a foreclosure. But you will also need to come to the table with a larger down payment. So a 3.5% down payment for FHA, or even a 10% down payment to be able to do this immediately or without even a 2 or 3 year waiting period out of a foreclosure, you're going to be coming to the table with 20-25% at least when it comes to the down payment. So it can be done, and this thing is a moving target. The guidelines are constantly changing. So if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below. I'll respond pretty quickly and let you know what the situation is today and whether you might be able to find something. So hopefully this helped you. If you've filed for bankruptcy, there's help for you. If you've got a short sale, and now if you've got a recent foreclosure, there's also help. And if you're in the process of being foreclosed upon and you're trying to refinance quickly so that way you can save the home from foreclosure, there's the potential to make that happen too. So anyway, I hope this helped. If it did, I would appreciate you hitting that like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for the next video I might release in the next day or two. Have a great day.